Well, there are growing concerns and questions today about whether those attacks in Brussels may have been the result of some security failures. Critics especially pointing to a couple of clues, including the fact that the suspects were wearing gloves on only one hand, as you can see in this photo. Just one of several red flags that security analysts say might have been missed yesterday and in the days leading up to the bombings. Meanwhile, Senator Lindsey Graham calling out President Obama on Greta's show last night for his response to all of this.
I could care less where he goes. If he doesn't change his strategy, nothing's going to change. He could go and sit in the Pentagon until January of 2017. If we don't come up with a regional army to destroy this ISIL army, they're going to hit us here in America. The only way you beat an army is with another army. We don't have a game plan to destroy ISIL. He's trying to run out the clock and pass this on to the next president.
All right, Judge Andrew Napolitano is a Fox News senior judicial analyst. Hi, Judge. Thanks as always for coming on.
Hi, Patty Ann.
So, you know, when you look at that picture, you can clearly see that two of these suspects are wearing only one glove each.
Right.
Not significant, perhaps, to a layperson, but law enforcement, you yourself easily recognize this as a detonator glove.
Very significant to law enforcement and to intelligence personnel, and even to those of us in the West who follow this. The gloved hand tightly grasping the luggage cart, two identical gloves next to each other, indicates that it is containing a detonator. So that if something happens to the person whose hand is gloved, tackled by the police or shot by the police, and they let go, the bomb detonates. On top of that, next to them is a guy wearing a mask. Now, this still that we have seen is obviously a still. It is taken from a 5-minute video, which was taken from a security camera on the ceiling of that room that they were in at the airport. Question, are security cameras there to help the police solve a crime and catch the bad guys after they do their deadly deeds? Or are security cameras there so the police can watch in real time and stop these things before they happen? So was someone watching this monitor and looking at that as it was happening, or was this on a computer chip in somebody's in a closet?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that is the question. You know, usually you would see these security people in a room with a whole bunch of monitors looking at all different angles. Is it possible that they were just looking at some other camera with something distracting going on and didn't notice this whizzing by?
We have seen some striking errors in judgment on the part of the Belgian police. I realize this is a tragedy of monumental proportion. I realize that we have the benefit of hindsight. But we know already that the Belgian police were leaking to the press what Abdul Salam was telling them as he was telling to them. That's a dog whistle. That's a signal to his Confederates that it's time to do something. The FBI in America would never be releasing raw information told to them during an interrogation. You don't even gather that information until you corroborate it, until you check it against another source. Now we see that they didn't have the security personnel to monitor the television screens. Well, what good are they? What good is it to the dead people if these guys who themselves are dead and their Confederates are caught? We want to stop this from happening in the future. We need to use technology to prevent it from happening. Could they have prevented this? It's a big if. They do have devices that could have isolated those two guys with the bombs, even if the bombs had gone off. Right. I don't know if the Belgian police own this. Okay. American police do.
Judge Napolitano, thank you as always. Got to leave it there,
You're
Bill.
welcome.